Hello there everyone, quiet engine here, and as you can see it is now a very quiet engine. Won't be a long video today. I found that sometimes I've waffled on for a little bit when it comes to doing these, and I'd rather just keep on the bare bones. As you can see, the engine is out, and one of the cylinders has been successfully pulled free, and you can see the condition of some of these cylinders a bit more. Well, cylinder heads anyway. Not cylinder heads, I don't know. Sorry, a little bit rattled. I was in the middle of doing some stuff and then had some problems with family and such, but you know how it is. For those who were messaging me to say, oh, it can't be that bad, that is the paint, and you can sort of see the depth of how much mud was on this. This was already scraped off some of it by me, and you can see the depth of how much is still on here. I've got some engine degreaser coming, and I'm hoping that should take the worst of this off. I mean, when you see there's the surface, then you've got these great big chunks of it still stuck to the engine. You know, it's practically cocooned. I mean, there's a great example. You can see just how much the mud was on the outside compared to, you know, you can get to see the progress of where I've been and how I've been getting on. You know, feel like an archaeological dig mostly. But yeah, I was able to get one of these off. I'm going to be careful now not to touch those because I just had my hands all over mud and I don't want to get all in my nice mechanical engine bay. I'm going to be taking these off. I've got a little bit of play. There's not much, and you can barely see it, but there is a tiny little bit of play, so it is freeing up. But the trouble is that number 6 cylinder is far too rusted now. You can also see that I've tried loosening it up, but instead, when I was trying to free it up, the actual bolt that holds it on, yeah, that started to come out rather than any of this moving, because it was also seized up. I'm tempted, if I had the money, I'd be tempted to get some evaporust, turn the engine round, pour it in there just so that there's less residue, because I mean, I can't really show you it from this angle, but it's bad. I mean, that's just from brushing my hand on the surface. You saw how quick that was. We've also got tyres, by the way. You can just see them peeking under. So now everything's sitting on its own wheels. It's sitting up pretty high at the moment, to be honest. The front end's just decided to raise itself way up. So back when I had it on jacks, the stands, the last time you saw it, it's actually sitting at the same height level. Which just cracks me up, that, you know, it's almost like the Edsel wants to sit up and beg kind of thing. I was thinking that the wheels didn't look quite right when I looked at the other side. I'll take you around, walk around the other side. One of the rare times I've actually walked around this car on the video. But I figure why not. There you go, you see. The front end kind of sits up pretty high, and I wasn't too sure how it looked. I thought, you know, that doesn't look quite right now. But I forget that when I've got the weight of the engine back in, and then of course if I do decide, because now that the engine's out, I am seriously debating clearing off the top of those spindles. In a previous video I said, oh, those will be okay. I'm tempted to clear those off now, so I can get access to the bolts and the cotter pins, take those off, and pull out the old springs and put in new ones. It'll be easy to put the new ones in because they're smaller than the old ones, but it'll mean that, or you also might notice I've been wearing gloves, but that much dirt under my fingernails from the past few times that I've been working on this engine that I realised, look at some gloves, look very all surgical and professional, or at least a good impression of knowing what I'm doing. But I realised that as high as it's sitting now, it's going to drop a few inches and the profile will just even up, and it'll look a little less like a moonshine running car and more just like a little bit of toughness for it. It's been a little bit rough. The second was the anniversary of my grandmother passing, and she was a second mother to me. She's probably a mother to me more than my actual mother, if I'm being honest. And this has been a nice little distraction, just coming out once in a while, having a look. Not really much more, just that some people were wanting an update, and I figured I'd get an update video put up, you know, very, very quick and botched together kind of thing. Yeah, there is a little bit of play in the engine, so it's freed up to some degree, not much, but a little bit. I know people say about like breaking piston rings. I'm not too worried because I might still replace all the rings anyway, because it's, you know, it's an old engine. I don't know, we'll see. The other problem as well is that I've had to bring out this. I don't know if it'll do the job, but the socket wrench that I've been using has just decided to give up the ghost. It's done a lot of work, but it's coming to a point where I get this at a certain angle when I've got it on the nuts, and it'll just decide, oh yep, it's fine, and it'll catch, and then the second I get it into just the right spot, it'll just start spinning without catching on anything. And when you've got your hands in an engine at a difficult position, you think, well, there's not much more I can do. I only paid like about £20 for it, so I've now got a wonderful set of these, which most of them I'm having to replace all of these sockets with anyway, which has been a nuisance. But it is what it is. So I guess it's a little bit of a low update for the Edsel and for the engine, but it's out. It's getting closer to being something now. And I just wanted to give a massive shout out to everyone who's been checking me out. If you get a chance, check out That's a Ford Edsel Ranger. That is run by Emily Doll and her wonderful car Ethel. Go and check her out. It's the younger sister to Trouble. I'm going to have to head off now, because as you can hear, family's arriving, and that never comes with any good news. Sorry for the quick dash. Bye, guys.